It's super lopsided. How do I fix that? Is that more level? I think that's a little leveler. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing a couple of minutes of light stretching, light movement for our back, for our posture, and hopefully loosening up our spines so that we can go crush whatever else you gotta do for the rest of the day because it is July 4th and it's time to celebrate. So you want your body to move well. All right, as we're joining in, first thing I want you to do is go grab a chair. We're gonna teach you some cool skills to make every opportunity where you're sitting a little bit more useful for your back. All right. If you are at home and you can grab a nice sturdy chair that you can wrap your legs around, this will be a great place to start. Doesn't matter how you wrap, you can go in, you can go out, you can get your legs around the chair legs. We got a great spot to begin. I want you to grab the back side of the chair. I want you to keep your spine nice and aligned, and I want you to pull yourself just a little bit in the direction of one side. Yeah, nice rotation throughout the entire length of your spine. And just chill, breathe, inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper into your stretch. And whew, we're done. That's one side. We're going to rotate and we're going to do the other side. Come on. Ooh. Oh, I guess I'm not facing you, but come on over to the other side. Try to keep your back upright. Rotate, 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 rotate. Breathe. Chill. And whew, hopefully having a little extra resistance with your hand helped to get you moving. All right. Let's loosen up the neck. All right. Having a chair, I talk about this often, but having a chair makes stretching out the neck a little bit easier. I have slept funny, so this is day 2 of my neck being a little bit weird, and luckily we get to stretch it out together. So you can use these stretchers anytime you're in a seated situation, preferably not in a moving vehicle, but otherwise, let's get ready to go. First, grab your hand around the edge of that chair, and I want you to lean directly that way. So your hand is by your hip. You're leaning the opposite direction of that hip. You're going to feel a nice stretch down the shoulder, maybe into the delt muscle as you lean that way. And I want you to give your head really, really, really thoughtful. Lean that way. I want the head to be neutral. I don't want you to start bending the neck and go in all sorts of other places. I want you to go sideways and then let the neck relax and go sideways some more. You're going to feel a stretch down the neck. You're going to feel this muscle in your shoulders up here coming across the neck. You're going to feel a nice gentle stretch. Take your hands, apply a little bit of pressure, keep on pulling this direction, and let those muscles relax. Can get a little bit intense, especially because these muscles don't tend to get stretched in quite this way very often. So breathe, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Remember, we're trying to keep the back nice and straight. We're not trying to rotate. We're not trying to go into crazy directions. We're trying to have it all go one direction and that away. That would have been a perfect opportunity for me to play some One Direction music. Just like 3 seconds, so it doesn't get copyright strike. Alright. Once you've done that, and you're feeling the looseness from this side, let's do this side. Grab underneath your chair, lean that away, give your neck a little tug, a little pull, and chill. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Feel it down from almost behind your ear all the way down the shoulder, down into the muscle up here. And try not to, pull so hard that you're dislocating your shoulder. That's a little more flexibility than we're looking for. And we'll just keep heading out, keep breathing for a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Again, we're trying to keep this nice straight alignment and just lean and lean and lean and lean. There's no crazy rotation trying to go a bunch of different directions. All right. From here, we're ready to wrap up some of those neck muscles. But we're not actually ready to wrap. We're just going to come in from the other side. I want you to sit up nice and straight and grab that chair. I want you to pull your head slightly down, so tuck the chin, and then go again. Pull to the left. You should feel a slight change in the direction of the muscle that is getting stretched. And we're going to do the same thing all over again. Now, it should feel like it's closer to the back of the neck. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Whew. All right. Oh. Let's do the other side. We're tucking the chin just a little bit. Nothing crazy, not super deep, just a little bit. Pulling the head sideways just a little bit. You're gonna feel the stretch in the back of your neck, and let's pull the head in that direction, directly to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper. Whew. Now I should be feeling a stretch sort of in the right side, but towards the back of that neck. And we'll keep on hanging out here for a little bit longer. Breathe. That's it. All right, we're gonna switch it back. Switching to the left side. I want you to tilt your head up just a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to look up into the ceiling. Just chin up a little bit. You're gonna be a little snooty, and we're going to grab the edge of that chair and pull the head sideways again. Whew. This one, because your head is a little angled, might be a little difficult to apply pressure directly to the left or right. That is okay. Just do your best. We want to feel it sort of here in the front side of the neck. And when you're feeling it, let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. You should be feeling it coming down the neck into the shoulder. And if you tilt your chin up a little bit, you'll feel a little bit closer to the front right here. All right. Chill for a little bit longer. Breathe. And we're going to finish up with the other side. Right front, maybe left front, depending on the angle that you're seeing this at. We're grabbing the bottom of the chair. We're leaning to the side. Feeling that stretch building up. We're going to tilt the chin up just a little bit. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure directly this way. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel those muscles stretching out in your neck. You don't have to yank hard. You don't have to tug. In fact, you don't even have to apply that much pressure to the side of your head to get a great stretch. Breathe. Chill. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And whew, feel that tension building up in your neck as you stretch out those muscles. Whew, that should be relatively even on both sides. Let's do a little head shake from side to side, left and right and left and right. Right now, we're taking this head, we're keeping it very neutral, right? And we're just leaning it to the left lean it to the right. We're not, looking there and then also bringing the head down. That's combining too many movements. We're just leaning to the right, leaning to the left. Try to keep as straight as you can while letting your head rest to one side or the other. Imagine imagine your head is stuck against the wall. The back of your head is stuck against the wall, and you're just leaning to the left and leaning to the right and leaning to the left. What we did before was stretching out those muscles. Now we're trying to activate the muscles. We're trying to get them to contract a little bit and to get some movement to wake up those muscles after getting stretched. And we're trying to get some extra range of motion coming from the joints in your neck. And keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep on going from side to side. And let's do a couple of front and backs. All right. If you know you got some issues in your neck, please be extra careful. If you can't bend your neck super far forward, or if you can't lift your chin up super high, go as deep as you want to. Yours does not have to look like mine. All right. We're gonna start tucking the chin, and I want to lift the head up in reverse, going back and forth. So first, bring your chin down and try to keep your back straight when you do it. Oof. I have a muscle that's feeling a little weird in the back. It's keeping me from bringing my chin down any deeper, but I'm gonna try to get just a tad bit more. Do the opposite. Look up, lift your chin up. See if you can look directly above you, maybe even slightly behind you without the neck pinching. And then we're gonna keep on coming back to these two positions. Bring your chin down, tuck the chin to your chest, breathe, inhale, exhale, and the opposite. Neck back, look up into the air, slightly behind you. Inhale, exhale. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Down, and up, and 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 down, and up. I recommend if you are trying to do a little bit of this in your own life, you do more rather than less. And when I say more, I'm saying like 30 reps. You don't have to go into doing 30 reps every single day right away, but a lot of these joints, a lot of this range of motion that we're tapping into right now, tucking the chin, looking up, you probably don't do very much of in your normal life, right? And so doing a couple of these helps keeps your movement patterns, helps keeps your joints chilling and comfortable with the movement. And since we don't spend very much time doing it naturally, you might want to get a couple more reps in when you're doing it intentionally. And if you can get your way up to 30 reps, that'd probably be a good amount for doing it very, very regularly. All right. You don't have to get all the way up to 30 right away. If you do 10 up and down and up and down per day to get started, just to get you familiar with the movement, and then you slowly work your way up 5 reps a week until you're at 15, and then 20, and then 25, and then 30, and you hang out there. That's probably a decent amount. I have heard of people doing like 100 reps of these a day, hundreds of reps a day, especially when they have a joint that's a little bit funky and is a little clanky, making a lot of noise. Adding that movement intentionally helps get the body prepared to do that thing a little bit better. All right? All right, what do we do? We did side to side leaning. We've done front and back. I think we can call it here for the neck. If you have anything that feels particularly weird, let me know. We can get back to a little bit more, but let's get into some spine. All right? We can get rid of the chair if you want, but You can totally do some cat cows seated. I'm gonna I'm gonna demonstrate a cat cow seated before we begin. All right. If you sit all the way back in your chair and try to lock your legs in, if you try to arch your back like we would for the cat, bring your belly button forward, bring your chest forward, tilt the neck back, chin up, get that arch in the spine. That is the cat. And then when you do the opposite, you do the cow, try to push your mid back up here, back towards the chair. Oh, tuck the chin to your chest, and super slouch. All right, let's do a couple of these. Belly button forward, chest forward, neck back, look up, breathe, sink into the stretch a little bit, and opposite. Whew. Try to stick that mid back towards the chair. Tuck the chin. Oh, extend your arms in front of you. Stretch it out. Whew. Opposite. Look up. Belly button down, arch in the back. Sorry, belly button forward, chest forward, arch in the back. Look up. And then back, push into the chair. Chin down. Whew. That's a way, while seated, to do a whole bunch of mobility work for your spine. All right. If you prefer the standard way of doing it on the floor, we can absolutely do them on the floor like this. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're bringing the belly button down. We're looking up. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can bring that belly button down a little lower. And feel that arch in your back. Maybe even try a tiny little bit of a wiggle of your hips. See if maybe one hip, one side of your back is carrying a little bit more of that contraction when you look up. And if it is, try and see if you can get the other one working a little bit harder. Do the opposite. Lift that mid back up into the air, palms down, tuck your chin. Be an ultra shrugger, ultra sloucher, and go back. Belly button down, chin up. Ooh. Mid back up, chin down. Ooh. All right, we've done a whole bunch of those. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a tiny bit looser back and forward. We're going to get some new direction. If you've been here live for some of our other back and neck and posture stuff, we usually moved on to strengthening the back, strengthening the glutes. But today, we're going to shake out our hips a little bit. All right? I want you to come up into standing. I want you to see if you can pop one hip out. Maybe a little bit of a stretch here in the side. And I want you to do the opposite. I want you to pop the other hip out. Get a little bit of stretch on the other side. And I want you to see if you can almost pop a little faster. Pop, 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 pop. And now, while you're popping, I want you to try to bend your spine down on the same side. I want you to see if you can get a little bit of a side bend going. All right? Doesn't have to be fast. Doesn't have to be explosive. Doesn't have to be intense. But I want a little bit of stretch here and a contraction here, and getting a little side bend going in your spine. All right? If you don't like that, you don't like the little hip pop, you don't have to do it. It's not that important. You can absolutely try to do the side bend with or without the little pop. If you want to, you can stand up perfectly straight. You can rest your back against the wall, have both shoulders basically touching the wall, and then slowly bend down to one side. That keep your shoulders on the wall if you can, and it should look a little bit like this. You're gonna feel a huge stretch in the side of your body. And we're gonna try and reach our hand down, trying to almost touch our knees, maybe even going a little bit deeper. And oh, that is some side stretching. We're gonna do the other side. I want you to bend directly over to the side. Try to stick your arms straight down into the ground. Feel the stretch here on the outside. Contract the other side a little bit. And whew, breathe, inhale. Exhale. Come back up. Whew. Ah, man, that was intense. Let's keep going. Other side. Breathe, sink into it. Inhale. Exhale. Ah. Whew. Come back up. Come back down. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, if you can, I want you to really keep your torso from twisting. I want that side bend to come directly from the side of your body, lengthening. If you need a little bit of help with that movement, lean your back up against the wall so that both your shoulders are touching the wall and your butt is touching the wall. And keep them touching there while you lean from side to side. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Whew. I hope you're getting a nice stretch in either side of your body. And oh, slowly, slowly realizing, oh man, there's so many parts of my body that need a little attention. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into that stretch. Whew. Oh, I have no idea how many of these we've done. I lost count. But hopefully the sides of your body are feeling a little bit looser. All right. I want to work onto something called hip circles. Move on to something called hip circles. We're going to just gently throw our hips around and get a little bit of movement going. Right after the side bends, I tend to feel a whole bunch of stress along the bottom of the spine towards the hips, and I want to loosen up, so hopefully we're in a similar state, and doing a little bit of movement here in your hips is helping you chill out, especially because some of that side bending, some of that movement is going to be brand new to you. You never done it before, so a whole bunch of extra muscles are going to fire to keep you balanced, to keep you supported, and we don't need that. We need some chilling, some relaxation. Whew. So come on through, work those hip circles. Take your time with it. You don't have to hit maximum range of motion right away. Do a couple reps, take your time, and these don't have to be intense. This shouldn't necessarily be a workout in and of itself. This should be just some gentle movement. Think of it as you shouldn't be getting too tired. All right. Oh, once you've done a couple of these, and you're feeling a little bit looser in the waist, we're gonna add a little bit of rotation. All right. This might be really nice for some of you, and if it is, make sure to do a little bit more in your regular day to day. All right. The rotation, we're just gonna let our arms swing from side to side, so that our hands are slapping the outside of our hips. All right. So we're swinging our upper body, our upper backs, and the lower waist isn't really doing as much, but the upper back, the thoracic spine, is designed to rotate, so we want that. And I want you to slap your hip on either side, just nice and slow. Doesn't have to be explosive. You can, it might look like the arms are leading this movement, but we want the back to be doing all the work. So if the arms are here, we want the back to do the work and eventually, with enough momentum, carry the arms into the hip slap. Hope that makes sense. The movement isn't arms going whoa, 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 karate chopping. The movement is getting the upper back to rotate. All right. And if you do it enough and you let your arms relax, it should just follow you slowly over time. And as you experiment, you'll be able to find a nice rhythm for you. Whew. Okay. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a lot better now. We've done cat cows, we've done side bends, we've done some rotational stuff. If you want to work on just hang out in a rotation. You want to work on your maximum rotation, we can break out the chair again and do a couple of things. You can, straddle that chair. You can rotate this way. Try to keep your spine upright while you push against the back of the chair. Hopefully your chair is stable enough for that. Alternatively, you can lock yourself into the chair, wrapping your legs around the chair legs. You can do this. Rotate and rotate. Man, I'm feeling real stiff in the back today. These are really nice. Okay. Somebody just wrote, I feel lower back pressure. If you're feeling lower back pressure, try your best to stabilize on some of these movements. Yeah, especially try to stabilize your core, flex your abs, flex your back, and see if that helps a little bit. Oftentimes, when your glutes are weak, that will happen. Because your low back is trying to be extra flexible to compensate for stiffness elsewhere in the body. So if you add some stiffness in by flexing some muscles, potentially flexing your glutes, flexing your low back, flexing your core, and that should help stabilize a little bit and let sort of the upper half of your back do most of the rotating work. But if that's not enough, we might as well start working on some glute strengthening right now. Let's get rid of the chairs. Come on down to the floor and let's do some glute bridges. Activate some glute muscles. All right. Ugh. Where are we at? Camera position wise. Here we go. All right. I kind of mentioned this just a second ago, but a lot of the time when we spend a lot of time sitting, our low back is going to start compensating for the lack of mobility in other parts of our body, and that often causes low back pain. So we need to reactivate some of those muscles that don't kick in when we want them to kick in, including our glutes, the biggest muscles in our body. So we're going to do some glute bridges. Lay on down, rest, catch your breath, chill, enjoy chilling on the floor. When you're ready, pull the heels in towards your butt. Try to lift your hips up as high as you can. Try to aim for a nice straight plank looking position. You can stick your hands down on the ground to help push your hips up if you want. You don't have to. And we're going to hang out here for, let's say 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. Poke your glutes. Double check that they're flexing, that they're working hard. Poke your hamstrings. Check that they're working, that they're flexing. And 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let your hips come on down. I want you to try to flex those muscles that you were just using for the glute bridge without being in the glute bridge and see if you can clench up those cheeks. And if you can't, don't worry about it. It's not that important right now to figure it out, but we do want you to have control over your glutes. So keep that in mind. All right. I'm trying to decide if we're going to rest here for a little bit and go right back into more glute bridges since we're already laying down, or if we should just move on to something and come back to it. I think we're going to rest for 10 more seconds since I've already done all this talking. We're going to do another glute bridge. And then we'll move on to something else. All right? Take a nice big deep breath. Exhale all the air out of your body. Try to squish your low back to the ground so that there's no space underneath your low back. And take your knees to your chest for a second. If you have sciatica, this might not be very comfortable because any bending is not going to be super great, depending on where the irritation in that sciatic nerve is. But for most of you, that should help your low back relax a little bit. And just drop. Right heels into the butt. And let's glute bridge. Hips up. Contract those glutes. Lift, 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 lift. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Keep flexing those glutes. Don't let them chill. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, you can let them chill now. Oh, come on down into the ground. Relax. You'll probably feel a lot of pressure right away in that low back. So I want you to doubly make sure your low back is touching the ground, that you're shifting your hips, maybe pulling your knees in so it's a little easier to get your low back touching the ground. And from here, we're going to get ready to move on because I promised we would move on. Come on, roll on over. What do we want to work on? We've done a whole bunch of mobilization for the spine, relaxing. Taught you a whole bunch of different moves to just flop around, shake, stretch, bend, so that you can get your spine moving. We flex the glutes to help wake up the lower body, to help support the back a little bit. And hopefully you'll remember how to use those glutes for random things, because you'll start thinking about how the glutes are supposed to help you with everything. All right. And if that helps you, some random moment in the next couple of days, you're like, oh, my glutes. Ken said my glutes are supposed to help me with everything. I'm just going to flex them real hard to do something random. That will be a win. Your glutes are huge muscles, all right? And there's this magic power that the glutes have where if you flex them while you're doing other things, that contraction, that strength that you're creating with your glutes, it'll just there's this idea called irradiation, and it's not radiation like the nuclear kind. It's if you're contracting a set of muscles, the muscles adjacent to it will flex a little bit harder, will contract a little bit harder. So if you are doing something that requires your low back to be working, your mid back, your upper back to be working, you're lifting something off the ground, flex those glutes extra hard, and it will definitely help you come on up into that position that you want to be in. All right, help you lift out of it. Next, what are we doing? We talked about radiation. We talked about contracting your glutes. That applies to a whole bunch of other muscles in your body. All right. Same idea applies to your core. If you're doing something that, even if it's just some bicep curls, if you flex your core real hard, you really contract those muscles like somebody's about to punch you, you go, ugh, it's gonna make lots and lots and lots of other things feel a little bit easier. So if you want magic strength increases, that they have a fine cap to how much magically stronger you're going to get. But if you want to be 10, 20% stronger than you naturally normally are in this muscle, the more muscles you contract in your body, the easier it will be to get a little tiny bit more strength out of the muscle that you're trying to work, right? It only works for certain movements. If your glutes are clenching real hard, if your abs are clenching real hard, it's not going to help you move in a sprint very well, right? So there's limitations to the trick. But if you're doing pull-ups, for example, where you're holding your body in a straight plank, if you're doing a plank, for example, where you can flex your abs, you can flex your glutes, that will give you a huge power boost. And it will also have your butt protecting your low back. All right. So long extra benefit of flexing your glutes. Usually at this point, we do some back shoulder lifting off the ground type stuff. And I guess I got no more excuses. Let's get down into it. Come on down to the floor. We're going to lay down. Oh, and we're going to try and lift our body up against gravity. All right. Hopefully, a whole bunch of your muscles have been warmed up. A whole bunch of movement has been freed up because it's time to suffer. Let's go. We're going to just start with the upper body first. If you need some help, feel free to put your hands down and give yourself a little bit of support to try and get as much range of motion as possible. And that's it. Otherwise, you can get rid of your hands. You can just lift using your muscles. Ready? We're going to inhale. Come on up. We're going to exhale. We're going to come down. Ready? Inhale. Come on up. Exhale. Come on down. Inhale up. Contract, contract, contract. Exhale down. That's 2. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 3. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. I think that's like 5, right? Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's just do 7. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. All right. Lay down. Catch your breath. Chill for a second. Maybe do a little wiggle of your hips. Let some of these low back muscles relax a little bit when you do the wiggle. And, wow, my back muscles are still firing really hard. All right. Chill, breathe, sink into the floor. Try to have your back relax. That's strange. My back muscles are firing really hard right now. Oh, no, there we go. They're starting to relax. Cool. All right. Just like before, where we did 2 sets of glute bridges, we're going to chill for a couple more seconds, and we're going to go back into some more of this back exercise. But this time, we're going to lift up our legs. We're going to fire the glutes. All right? So that we can give the mid part of the back a little bit of relaxation. Ready? We're going to inhale. We're going to lift them up. We're going to exhale. We're going to come on down with control as much as you can. And it's time to begin. Inhale up. Exhale down. You don't have to lift your upper body. Inhale up. Exhale down. But if you automatically do it a little bit, that's fine too. Inhale up. Exhale down. If your legs are too heavy to inhale and lift up, you can give them a slight bend and see if that helps a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. Inhale up. Exhale down. I find it easier to do with the legs fully locked out and straight. But if you find it is easier for you in some slightly different way, feel free to do it that way. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're getting those glutes firing again. All right. Learning to support our legs. Learning to support our back. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. I have no idea how many of these we've done, but we're going to take a small break. Breathe. Chill. Roll over. Tuck your knees to your chest. And see if you can do a little tiny roll back and forth. Get a little tiny massage in some of these little parts of your back where the low back was working real hard just now. And if you want to seriously roll, you can actually more seriously come back and forth and let your back get massaged a little bit. But if you have some specific parts that are feeling a little crazy, feel free to just do a tiny wiggle on those. All right? Whew. Relax, breathe, chill. Make loud, grunty noises if you need to. Release that stress of whatever else you gotta do for the rest of the day because it's July 4th. And let's get ready to go for some glute bridges. Let's go. Lift the hips up, contract the heels, or sorry, bring the heels in towards your butt, contract your glutes, lift, 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 lift. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, contract those glutes, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on down. Whew. I'm going to just do a double check real quick. I was telling you guys earlier that my neck and shoulders were feeling a little bit weird because I slept funny. And it seems like After a little bit of movement, it feels a little bit better. All right. I thought maybe it had gone away completely. It's not gone away completely, but it feels a little bit better because I was bending the neck and I was like, oh, I didn't notice anything. Anyway, glute bridge is done. We're going to come back onto our stomachs. We're going to lift everything up now. All right. We did the front by itself. We did the back by itself. Now we're going to do everything all at the same time. And then we'll get ready to wrap up. Let's go. We're going to do 10 reps. This is going to be hard. It's going to be intense. We start real chill, moving the bodies, waking them up, and now we're making you work. All right. So let's go. Inhale and up. We're lifting the arms. We're lifting the upper body. We're lifting the legs. We're lifting everything. Let's do this. Inhale up. Hold. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Oh man. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 3. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. I think that's 4. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. We're going to take a small mini break. Breathe. And now the mini break is over. We're doing 5 more. Let's go. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. I think that's 8. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 9. One last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. That is a whole bunch of those. All right. Come on up out of that position. And let's take a look at the time. It is 9:43. All right. The Alexander says, love the back and glute exercises. Good job. Gotta follow along when I get home. Good. We'll see you in a little bit. Or I guess the recording will see you when you get home. Okay. It is 43 minutes into the hour. I hope you guys enjoyed the nice and slow start, doing a little bit of chill movement, waking up your spine. I hope the little bit of intense back exercises that we just pulled off is helping to wake up your body, helping you get a little bit more energized so you can crush whatever you gotta do today. It is still a hot day. Heat wave is still over the US. So if you are doing stuff outside, make sure to stay hydrated, take care of yourself. And we're going to do one last round of lifting our legs, lifting our bodies up off the ground, and then we're going to call it. All right. So that we can all go and enjoy July 4th a little bit more loosey and I don't know, goosey is the next word I want to follow up with, but it's a little bit more mobile. All right. Let's go. Come on back down to the floor. I just wanted to fill a minute or two of time with talking so that you could rest without it feeling too empty. And let's get ready to contract. Inhale up. Exhale down. Whew. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 2. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 3. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 4. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's 5. Whew. Take a mini break. Breathe. We'll go for 6 through 10. Let's do it. Inhale up. Hold. Down. Whew. Inhale up. And down. That's 7. Inhale up. And down. That's 8. 2 more. We're going to hold these for a little bit longer. I want you to try your very best just to hold it up, right? Inhale up. Hold. Down. Whew. That's 9. I feel like I'm talking to a dog. Hold. Stay. No, stay. Inhale up. Hold. Hold. Now I have to sing about it because I don't want you to treat you like pets. Hold. 10. Come on down. That is some more low back stuff, some upper back stuff, some mid back stuff, some glute stuff, some posterior chain stuff. Oh, okay. I'm sweating. I'm also probably covered in cat hair, and I'll probably regret that later. But, whew, that is probably how we're going to wrap up the life. All right. We did a whole bunch of stretchy, loosening, chilling stuff to undo whatever it is that you were stuck in. getting out of bed, and hopefully you're feeling a little looser now. And also took a whole bunch of movements that you may or may not like, and decide I gotta do more of these, and go start sprinkling them throughout your day. All right. Most of these were relatively, space efficient, right? Just bend into the side, doing some rotation, letting your shoulders flop from side to side so that your arms do a little bit of movement. They're not, big movements. They're not big, crazy looking movements that gets too much attention from any randos on the street asking you questions or anything like that. Just sprinkle them in throughout your day. Sunny says, Happy 4th, everyone. Enjoy your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy 4th of July. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will be back probably at 9 p.m. doing our regular old standard consistency size splits live. We're going to crush it at light speed because I assume everybody who comes is going to be a regular. And so there's going to be very little explanation, hopefully. Yesterday, we got a version of that show going for, we finished the core of that show in like 47 minutes. And it was super, 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 super fast. And I'm not even sure what I cut out. I just fast, I think. So we're going to try and beat that and go for like 40-ish minutes. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if there's enough to cut out to make it 40 minutes, but we'll give it a try and get it done. So you can go do whatever else you want to do if you want to hop in. I don't think it's necessary at all for you guys to come to the July 4th evening show because it's going to be the same old practicing consistency stuff that we always do. All right. And if you would much rather spend it with friends and family because it's a special occasion, please, please do. But I'll be here for a little bit, trying to do a quick version, and I'll hop on out of here, hang out with friends, and if you're ready to do some side splits, feel free to come on in. All right. I make some other content as well. Most of it is trying to incorporate a little fitness, a little bit of movement into your life, making movement feel a little bit more friendly, and to help you remember that your body is designed to move. And when you move, things get unstuck. Things get unstuck, and movement starts feeling better and better and better. And you should do a lot of it. Your joints would appreciate it, particularly because they don't have blood flow. They don't get lots of nutrient into the joint area if you don't move, right? So it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to be jumping up and down. You don't have to be flapping wings and trying to take off doing crazy stuff, but a little bit of movement, getting the joints moving goes a long way. Your movement acts like a pump. It pushes and pulls synovial fluid in and out of your joints. Synovial fluid is basically some goop in your joints that carries nutrients and carries waste away. All right. So you need those to help your joints recover. You've babied them enough. Now they need a little bit of movement. All right. Cool. Bryce says thanks. Ken True Blue says morning hip mobility family. Stuck at work but want to stop by and say have a great workout. Ah, thank you. That's so nice, True Blue. All right. I'm gonna take a quick look at the chat, but otherwise we're done. You guys can get off, go hang out with people. Hopefully you're moving a little bit better. You can have a little bit extra fun. All right. Forgive says enjoyed. Very beneficial. Lovely. Dwayne says happy 4th. Love your stretches. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Chereth is sending awesome emojis. Chereth, I hope you're feeling better. And what else we got? We got a bunch of thank yous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna scroll real fast. See if there's anything else I need to address right away. KB says, "Oh God, it hurts. My C spine is awful. If something feels painful, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a live show. I don't look at the chat until much, much, much after most messages are sent. If something feels bad, just skip it. Um, go talk to somebody who's an expert in whatever problem that you got, and then if you want, come back and experiment. Right? This live is designed for the general public. I try to cover common things as they come in, but I can only do my best. And if you have a specific type of pain in a specific area from old injury, that is not something that I'm going to be able to give you the best advice for right away, right? Because I'm going to be over there on the floor with my face on the ground. But if something does hurt, if something does feel really, really uncomfortable and strangely uncomfortable, please feel free to stop. This is not a competition. It's not a race. We're trying to move better. If something is hurting, and you start moving worse, then we've done the opposite of reaching our goal, right? Our goal is to move better. So if you need to take a break, take a break. If you need to rest, rest. Those are basically the same sentences. I don't know why I said that twice. If you need to pause on an exercise, need to reevaluate, or need to ask, hey, am I doing this right? Then please throw that in the chat and we can address whatever it is that you're struggling with a little bit later. And if I have no idea, I'll try to send you to the right place, somebody who might have an idea, or some other free YouTube online resources that would have a better idea, because that's their expertise. And I think that's the best I can do. All right, I'm gonna keep scrolling. What else do we have? Trevor Roxy says good morning. Oh man, we must be at the top of the chat. Chase says hello, and that's it. The chat has been quiet today, which is cool because that means we're just wrapping up. Dwayne asks, "Thanks, Ken. I always enjoy the workout with you. Having a great holiday." You, sorry, that wasn't a question. That was just a statement. Thank you. Renee says, "Thank you so much, Ken." Marina says, "Thanks, Ken." Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I knew asked, what is your plan for the rest of the day? I have been at my friend's house for like a whole week. We're gonna go make pancakes at another friend's house in a couple of minutes, and then I'm not sure what's happening after that. We may or may not be going to another friend of a friend's place, much further away, and hang out and barbecuing, but we might not be. Just depends on how awful the heat starts feeling. That's the plan. All right. And then hopefully I'll be back somewhere at somebody's house with good Wi-Fi by 9 p.m. so that we can do a quick live. Size Blitz. Cool. All right. That's it for today. I hope you guys have a lovely 4th of July. I'm wrapping up. I'll see you guys at 9 p.m. Eastern if you'd like to be here. There is very, very almost no pressure at all. If you want to hang out with friends or family, I absolutely recommend that. All right. Closing out.